Hey there guys, Chet here. When was the last time that you found yourself doing a task on your computer that felt like a robot should be doing it? I'm talking about that mind-numbing copy and paste routine, downloading an invoice from your email, renaming it, uploading it to Google Drive, then messaging your team on Slack that you did it. Each step is simple, but together they form a chain of digital tasks that eats away at your day, your focus, and your creativity. You end up becoming a human wire, connecting apps that refuse to talk to each other. Now, what if you could fire yourself from that job? What if you had a tireless digital assistant that could handle all of it for you 24/7 without ever making a mistake? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. In this video, we're going to do a complete beginner's deep dive into a tool called n8n. We'll cover what it is, how it actually works, and most importantly, why it might just be the most powerful and flexible automation tool on the planet, especially because it's built on a foundation of open source principles. And by the end of this video, you'll understand how you can start taking back your time and automating the boring stuff for good. First off, what in the world is n8n? Well, that's a great question. The simplest way to describe it is a workflow automation tool. Think of it as a master connector for all of your different software and services. It provides the digital plumbing that allows you to connect hundreds of different applications and make them work together in a sequence. The heart of n8n is its visual workflow editor. I want you to imagine that you have a box of digital Lego blocks. Now, each block represents an application that you already use, like Twitter, Dropbox, or Trello. Some blocks aren't apps, but actions like if this then that logic, or a block that can read and write a spreadsheet. Now, in n8n, you build an automation called a workflow by simply dragging these blocks, called nodes, onto a canvas and drawing lines between them. You're literally drawing a map of the task that you want to automate. For example, you can have a when a new email arrives in Gmail node. You draw a line from that to an if node that checks if the email's subject line contains the word invoice. If it does, you draw another line to a download attachment node, then a line to an upload to Google Drive node, and a final line to send a Slack message node. You build this logical flow visually without needing to be a programming wizard. This is why it's often called a low-code platform. It lowers the barrier to creating incredibly powerful automations so that you can focus on the logic of your task, not the complexity of the code. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that sounds a lot like other tools I've heard of, like Zapier or Make. And you would be right. They operate in the same universe, but n8n has a few secret weapons that make it fundamentally different and, in my opinion, better for a huge number of people. The biggest one is that n8n is fair code and source available. Without getting too technical, this means that you can see its source code. But more importantly, you can download the entire n8n platform and run it on your own server completely free. Yeah? This brings us to the most critical part of the video. Why should you use n8n? What makes it so special? Well, first up is that insane flexibility. Because n8n is open, it has a massive library of integrations or nodes for hundreds of apps. But here's the killer feature. If there isn't a special node for a service that you want to use, it doesn't matter. As long as that service has an API, which is like a standardized way for apps to talk to each other, you can use n8n's universal HTTP request node to connect to it. This means that with a little bit of learning, you can connect to virtually any service on the internet. You will never hit a wall where n8n tells you, sorry, we don't support that. The platform's flexibility ensures that if you can imagine a connection, you can probably build it. The second and arguably best reason is the power of self-hosting, which creates two massive benefits: cost and control. Let's talk about cost. Most automation platforms charge you based on how many tasks you are actually running. The more you automate, the more you pay, and this can get incredibly expensive very fast. With a self-hosted n8n, the software itself is free. Your only cost is the server you run it on, which can be as cheap as $5, $10 a month. For that price, you can run as many automations as you want. There are no artificial limits on how many workflows you can build, how many steps are in each workflow, or how many times they run. Your only limit is the power of your server. This completely changes the economics of automation. Now let's talk about control, which is directly tied to privacy and security. When you use a typical cloud-based automation service, your data, your login credentials, your sensitive information, it all passes through that company's servers. With a self-hosted n8n, your workflows run on your own infrastructure. Your data never has to leave your control. For anyone handling sensitive customer information, financial data, or health records, this isn't just a nice feature, it's an absolute requirement. You have total data sovereignty. Now, of course, if the thought of setting up a server makes you nervous, that's fine. N8n does offer a paid cloud version where they handle all the technical setup for you. It is a fantastic, easy way to get started, and its pricing is very competitive. But the fact that you always have the option to switch to a self-hosted setup is a freedom that other plans simply don't offer. This all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like in the real world? Let's walk through a few practical examples to get your imagination going. Imagine you're a content creator. You've just uploaded a new video to YouTube. Now you can build an n8n workflow that automatically detects this. The moment your video goes live, it triggers the workflow. First, n8n grabs the video title and link. Then it could use an AI node to write a compelling summary of the video. Next, it passes that to an image generation node to create a custom promotional graphic. And finally, it posts that graphic and text to X, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and sends a notification to your Discord or Telegram community with the video link. A 15-minute marketing task, completely automated. Or let's say you're a small business owner. You use a tool like Typeform on your website to capture new leads. When someone fills out that form, an n8n workflow can spring into action. It takes the person's name and email, adds them to a new row in Google Sheet for backup, and simultaneously creates a new contact card for them in your Trello or Asana board under New Leads. The workflow could then wait 5 minutes and send a personalized welcome email from your business account introducing your services. You've just created a sophisticated lead nurturing system that ensures no lead ever gets missed. And this isn't just for your business. You can revolutionize your personal productivity as well. I have a workflow that runs every morning at 7 a.m. It checks the weather forecast for my city. It pulls the top 3 articles from my favorite news RSS feed. And then it connects to my Google Calendar and grabs my first 3 appointments for the day. It formats all of this into a single clean message. Good morning, today's weather is. Here are your headlines. Don't forget your meetings at... and it sends it directly to my phone. I get a perfect daily briefing before I've even had my first cup of coffee. These examples are just scratching the surface. From managing your smart home devices to tracking stock prices to automatically generating reports from a database, the possibilities are genuinely endless. So as a beginner, how should you get started? As we discussed, you can have 2 main paths, n8n Cloud or self-hosting. The n8n Cloud is the easiest and fastest way to get going. You can sign up and get started building workflows this very second without ever thinking about servers, and their plans are reasonable. It's a fantastic, worry-free option. The other path is self-hosting, which gives you all of that incredible power, control, and cost savings that we talked about. Now, the setup can seem a little daunting and intimidating if you've never done it before, which is why I want to make it as easy as possible for you. So if you found this useful, I go way deeper inside of my school community. I built a complete n8n course where you'll learn how to grow from beginner to building advanced systems, plus live calls and exclusive templates that you won't find anywhere else. I'll walk you through setting up a self-hosted server step by step. The link is down there in the description. All right, that's it for this video. If you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.